Hello, welcome back. This is Mrs. Peachy. Here we go. I'm going to show you how to graph in Google Sheets. You can apply most of what we're doing also to an Excel spreadsheet. Here we go. So we're looking at homework number 2 to determine how to make graphs that can allow us to see the order of a reactant by its linear plot. So if you go into Classroom, I've shared with you a file as an assignment, homework number 2, determine the order of a reactant by its linear plot. Please open that and you will see a file that looks similar to this one. All right, so we're going to do it. Notice across the bottom, we have notes, example 14, page 12. So we're going to do the one in our notes, and then you have the rest of these down here are your assignments for the graphing piece for homework number 2. So we will start with example 14 on page 12. So if you look in your notes to page 12, example 14, you will see a data table that has time and concentration. So in cell A1, you're going to type in the word time and then put in your units of seconds. Then you will type in the times numerically. So going down column A, 0, 50, 100, 200, 300, and 400. In column B1, please type in the concentration. So we will type it in just for simplicity, square brackets, capital N2, capital O5, close my square brackets. That helps me get a title in there. Then I will type in the concentrations as shown on the worksheet, page 12 in our notes. Going through there and typing those values and got those in. All right, then I will I will highlight that entire box. You should see a blue shading go around it. Come over here and click Insert Chart. Then I will come up here and go to Chart Types and make sure that I have checked and only checked, use row 1 as headers and use column A as labels. And then we're going to hit the linear plot and then hit insert. And then you can grab the graph by making a hand appear at the top and you can slide it over so that it's out of the way. So that is the plot for 0 order. And we can go on from there. All right, now we need to also plot for first order. We need to plot ln of concentration versus time. So go down to cell A10 and put equals. And then remember, an equal sign tells the computer put there whatever is equal to whatever I tell it to do. So in this case, we're going to say put there equal sign then what is in cell 1A. We're going to repeat time because remember we have to graph time versus all three. So again, let me show you again. I hit equals and then I'm going to type in A1, which tells it go to put there what is in cell A1 and hit equals. Okay, then I'm going to make my box, blue box be around time, make that lower right-hand blue square turn into a plus sign and drag and drop, and then it'll repeat the same data up there. Now go to cell B10, and we're going to now need to calculate the ln of N2O5, square brackets. That's just the label there for us. And now we're going to have the computer do all the work for us. To do that, the computer can tell us, we can say equals. That's telling the computer you're going to do something. Equals the ln. So I type in ln, open parentheses. What do we want it to take the ln? The concentration of the first time. So we're gonna type in B2 or click on B2. And you'll see that. And then close your parentheses. And you'll see the number appear. So again, it's equals ln parentheses B2. That's telling us to take the natural log of what's in cell B2, which is where our concentration is that we need to take the natural log of. Hit return or enter. And then again, make your cursor be back in that box, that B11 box, make your cursor turn into a plus sign, drag and drop. I'm actually going to go over here and I'm going to shrink my graph just so I can fit them all and look at them a lot easier. And now I'm going to highlight again all of that area, hit the chart type. Once again, you're going to go our insert chart, then you're going to go chart types. Make sure use row 10 as headers and use column A as labels as selected. Hit line graph and hit return. Then you can capture that by turning your graph into a little hand. I'm going to go to the bottom corner when I highlight the graph and make it smaller just so that it's easier to look at it once. Then I'm going to go down to cell, so this is our 0 order graph. This is a first order graph. And now we need to do the second order graph. So I'm going to hit equals. I want it to repeat what's in cell A1. So equals A1, hit return. Make your cursor turn into a plus sign, drag and drop. In cell B19, this time we're going to take 1 over the concentration. So 1 over N2O5, close square brackets. That's just the labeling purposes. Again, we're going to have the computer do the work for us. So we're going to say equals 1 slash or divide by cell B2. Remember, we want to take the inverse of the concentration. You don't want to take the inverse of what you just did for the ln. So it needs to be of that first cell that we have concentration in for B. So that's why we're going back to B2. So we're going to hit enter. Gives us 10. Again, make the cursor turn into a plus sign. Drag and drop. Highlight everything. Chart type. Go to chart types and then make sure you have use 19 as header, use column A as header, or the last two choices that you have right here. You want selected, hit line graph, and hit insert. You can move the graph then by pressing and holding down, and it'll turn into a little hand. I'm going to highlight the graph and shrink it so that I can look at all of them. Now, if I look at these three graphs, remember that this first one is 0 order. It doesn't start with 1, it starts with 0. First graph is 0 order, second graph is first order, and third graph is second order. So again, this first graph is 0 order, second graph is first order, last graph is second. So we look to see which is the most linear plot. Remember what this plot again for 0 order was. It was time versus concentration. This one is concentration, natural log of concentration versus time. And this one was inverse concentration versus time. So again, concentration versus time, not a straight line, so it's not 0 order. The natural log of concentration versus time looks pretty linear, so we're going to determine that it's first order. And then this third graph is not linear, and it is the inverse concentration versus time in second order. So therefore, looking at the three plots, we see that the first order plot is the straightest, or the second plot is the straightest. Therefore, we know that this is a first order reactant. Thank you very much for your time.